Welcome back to the second part of our conversation with the Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Mr. Olisa Metuh. Mr. Metuh, welcome back to Sahara TV.
Thank you, Rudolf.
Okay, so this week, I think, we saw this image of Governor Amaechi taking control of the Governors Forum. The governors met for the first time in about 18 years and essentially said that it was a mistake that Amaechi was not declared the winner of that election that led to his eventually leaving the party. Does the PDP feel that that was one of the major mistakes they made in the last 1 year or so?
Truth, the facts of what happened when they met not very clear to me. I will not want to speak on certain things I'm not aware of. But I do know that they met and they resolved to work together. I also know that some other governors have refuted that they were part of that arrangement. But anything that happens with the body of governors, which is not a recognized body by the Constitution, I will not want to speak. It's an association of governors, and they're free to take any decision that they want. But as the political party, it has no bearing whatsoever on our fortunes. What we rather concern ourselves is the PDP Governors Forum. The Nigerian Governors Forum, I really do not know much about their affairs or what they're doing right now.
Okay, your line is not very clear. Let's try again and make sure that our viewers can hear what you're saying. But let me ask you about these tribunals are now sitting and they are looking at the last election. There are a lot of concerns about what happened in Rivers State and Akwa Ibom states. I want to know what would be the outcome? How would the PDP feel if eventually the tribunals overturn the outcome of the governorship elections in Rivers and Akwa Ibom state?
It will not happen. It will definitely not happen. The people voted for the PDP and it will not happen. We will not sit and watch what happened in the Southwest, what happened again. The Islamic judgments will not happen again. We have seen that the APC were planning to put out things in the media and influence the tribunal members, influence the judges, and influence the public into thinking that there were certain things that were wrong with the election. And we have brought it to the court of public opinion for Nigerians to know what exactly is the issue. They are stating that the number of voters are a lot more than the number that was recorded by the
card readers.
The two elections, the presidential election and the House of Assembly elections, I voted without card, and I had a Senate form. So I don't understand, because I know there are a lot of people that didn't have card that voted, and I make provisions for incident forms. So let us wait until the tribunal sits, and they will find out that the laws of INEC, the laws of our land were followed in those elections. Our people, look at what the governor of Akwa Ibom did. Look at what he has done. Why will he not win? Why will he not win? And he chose a very good candidate. So we want Akwa Ibom clear and clear. In Rivers State, yes, Amaechi was elected governor, PDP governor, but most people were not happy that he deserted PDP and that he worked with a party which ran against someone from a neighboring state. So he affected the election. He had a good candidate. Peter Side is a good candidate, but the sentiments of the people were against him because he belonged to a party that was contesting victory, contesting for an election against their son, their in-law. So that's exactly what happened. We do not entertain any fears. We will come out victorious again.
What do you think about this news report from Rivers State that a lot of people actually died during this election? Does that make you feel that it was conducted in a free and fair way?
any place that people die, any loss of life in an election is condemnable. We have heard, I read that a few people died. Whether they died as a result of attempting to rig, or in terms of intimidation, or who caused it, or how it happened, I do not know. But I know that passions were definitely aroused. And I think the PDP should be commended for the role that we played during this campaign. The hate campaign, the bitterness which the APC have brought to bear on the social media and the populace from 2 years back had affected the minds of people. We have never had an election that witnessed such bitterness. There would have been loss of lives in several other states, not only Rivers, in a lot of places. And our concern now is how to purge our people on both sides now of the bitterness. Even amongst the PDP followers, they are trying to imitate the people, thinking that party media or publicity is all about insulting or spreading hate or spreading bitterness in a frustrated manner, or insulting people and laying a lot of abuses on others. We're in the process of trying to cleanse our people, the minds of our PDP people, from such bad aspects of our democracy. We do hope that all others concerned will engage in such process. We need our campaigns, our politics to be played in a very clean manner, with good heart. It's a competition. Somebody will win, somebody will lose. It's about the choice of the people. It's about who has the better plan and who exactly do they want. Nigerians have chosen our opponents to govern them. We have no problem about that. We have to come back, sit back, reorganize, try and reconnect next time so that we can win. There should not be bitterness about it. It's not a question of abuse or insult or killing people or harming people. There should not be any violence.
Now,
that is what we're preaching to our members.
Now, as part of rebuilding the PDP, does it involve merging the PDP with other political parties?
Definitely no. I laughed when I read in the papers that I said we were talking about merger. And our statement was very clear, very concise. We are not discussing with anybody about merger. Our constitution does not allow merging with other political parties. We can accommodate other people. We are open for people to join us, but they will join as individual members, not as associations. No. Our constitution did not contemplate it. Maybe when we do a constitutional review, if we think it's necessary, then we'll make provisions in our constitution for such. But for today, you can only join our party as an individual. Not, we cannot have measures. No.
Now, what about the people who left the party recently, even the people who are leaving now to join APC? What is the party position? How are you going to bring some of them back? There was an interview where President Jonathan said recently that those who are leaving the PDP to go to APC will come back hungry. Is that the hope of the party, that they will come back with their empty stomach?
It's a very, very difficult question and a very, very difficult issue for us in the party. Because some people left. These are people that we build a party with, we admire, but they left us at a critical point. Some others left after we lost the election. That spoke more about their content of character than against us. Now, do we consider, we have to reconcile between the feelings of the people who have kept faith and been loyal to this party all this while, and they never left. We have to reconcile that with the fact that we need to rebuild our party with more members. So at what point does loyalty, commitment, and dedication come to play? Do you go ahead and reward people who dumped you or who betrayed you or who worked against you? We are still discussing. It's a very difficult issue for the party to. We need to reconcile both aspects. We have to come to an agreement or a procedure for doing that. Some people are of the opinion that we should close shop. If we have 1,000 members of the PDP, we will build with those 1,000 members. But for those that left us after we lost the presidential election, I say shame on them. You cannot decide that when we've lost an election is when you leave a party. If you believe that things were wrong with our party, you should have left before the outcome of the presidential election. It is not. You were supporting the government. You are not supporting the PDP. Now there is no more government. We will know the true people that love our party. It's not the government. Thank you.
Now, well, I'm rounding up. I know we have to go, but the vice. Let me ask you this before the final question. You are now talking about being in the mood to run an opposition party. Will you spend the next 4 years wishing that APC should succeed or working for them to fail? What is going to be the essence of this opposition you are planning to put in place?
The truth is that we are in politics to enhance value and to make sure that we achieve the best for the ordinary Nigerian, for the Nigerian people. It must not be PDP that will do that. That's why we're in politics. It must not be PDP. Any political party that can do that can as well do that. APC is taking over power in the next 1 week. We wish them well. We wish that our democracy will progress. We want our economy to be better. We want things to be handled better. We want them to improve what we have done to the benefit of the entire country. We will support them as long as they are doing things that will move our country and the economy forward. But for the others, we will show the alternatives to their programs. If they have done well, if they do well, Nigerians will continue to support them. But since it is not a dictatorship, since it is not a military regime, we must provide the other side of the coin so that people, because that's the hallmark of democracy, the question of choice. People will now choose, do we continue with this APC or do we go back to PDP? Now that PDP has reformed, now that PDP has cleansed, and in terms of APC, have they done better than PDP? Have we seen improvements in infrastructural development, in practice of democracy, in the tenets and principles of democracy, in terms of approach to issues, health sector, education, a lot of other areas? So if there has not been manifest improvement, well, the PDP will still do the alternative to the people of Nigeria. But for us, we wish it to do well, because if APC develops, if they improves, if they do well in the next 4 years, it is not APC that will enjoy, it is the Nigerian people that enjoy. This was exactly what they missed when our president was in power, when we were in power. The attack on President Goodluck Jonathan was like they were attacking him. No, they were attacking the Nigerian nation. Some of these things that they did worked against us as a nation and stalled growth of the economy. We will not repay them with such. We will work with them to improve our country.
Now, one last question. The Vice President-elect said this week that your party left the country in the worst economic situation ever. I want to know if you agree, and I want you to answer. I
don't think he said our party. He said that they are taking the reins of government, they are taking control of government with the worst economy.
Well, but your party has been in power for 16 years.
Let me explain, sir.
Yeah.
Let me explain, Rudolf. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Now, in saying that, what he did not say is that the $60 billion that he mentioned, Lagos State, River State, Kano State, control more than a quarter of it, just those 3 states. More than even federal government. The debt that they are leaving for the incoming administration caters for more than 25% of what he said. And these are APC states. And by the time you go through the records, you see that APC states are owing a lot more than PDP states. In Katsina State, the governor left no debt at all. He actually left $4 billion naira, for the incoming government. So it is an indictment on his party, not necessarily on our party. He is talking about the Nigerian economy, and we look at it state by state. Which states are owing, which states borrowed more, you see from the statistics that it's actually an indictment. He spoke too soon. He didn't look at the figures before he spoke. Well, we know they wanted PDP to fail, but they didn't prepare for governance. For governance, they did not prepare for governance, and Nigerians will see that very soon. They should settle down, sit down, because the way they are going, I won't be surprised in the next 3 months, 4 months, Lai Mohammed or the vice president-elect, they won't be criticizing federal government without remembering that they are the federal government. They don't remember. I used to be in opposition. So right now, we are not impressed with what they are doing. They are trying to oppose. To oppose things. They haven't settled down for governance. No. They should settle down to know that the reins and the affairs of this country is being entrusted in their hands. They have not shown that they are prepared. They have not shown the competence, the capacity, the readiness to handle the administration of the country.
Now, one last question. For ordinary Nigerians today, and up till next week when they will see the new president and vice president take over, they will be living in a country where there is no power, a lack of fuel, a country that is essentially broke because most state governors cannot pay workers, and even the federal government is borrowing money to pay the workers. Is that how they are going to remember the PDP for what they did in the last 16 years?
No, definitely no. But Nigerians remember that when PDP came into power, in 1999, we didn't have fuel, we didn't have power at all. We've improved. We didn't have a road network. We've improved the road network. Nigerians remember that we had no communication system. We have no telecommunication. Today we have it in abundance. Nigerians remember that then schools were shut. Most of the schools were on strike. Today they are not on strike. Nigerians remember that we inherited the worst health states in the history of our country. But most of all, Nigerians remember something. Nigerians remember the PDP for being the only political party in the history of our country that sustained democracy for 16 years. Nigerians will remember that we improved on our electoral system. Nigerians remember us for allowing people the freedom of information, the freedom of the movement, freedom of expression for people. I mean, democracy has excelled in Nigeria. Any other government, military or otherwise, as well do infrastructural development. But in terms of the practice of democracy, Nigerians will remember PDP as a truly democratic party that enthroned democratic principles and practice in our country. That is what we'll be remembered for.
All right. Mr. Olisa Metuh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We hope that in days to come you will be joining us again as opposition person speaking for the opposition party.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We're not scared. We're not scared.
Yeah.
We do well.
Thank you so much. When we come back, we'll continue our show today, so stay tuned.